Leave it to the Europeans to clean up our messes. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Greetings and felicitations, assorted children of the internet. I am, as always, the Logician, and today we are going to talk about a subject of which I am extremely passionate. I am, of course, referring to designed/programmed/planned obsolescence. A topic that is very near and dear to my heart, in that it makes it quake with an unfiltered fury, the likes of which could douse any sun. But once again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, as is the custom around here, I'm going to be spending some time on my soapbox generally covering the basics of this subject before getting into an actual, I guess, semi-tactile example thereof. As I said before, today's subject is predominantly going to be planned obsolescence. And no, I am not referring to the track by Gojira. Planned obsolescence specifically is when a corporate entity or manufacturing party, as it were, essentially builds a product with the, I guess, long-term intention of only having it last so long. This can apply to hardware, software, anything under the sun. Basically, it is a product meant to have a definitive shelf life, even if it is advertised as something that is going to last long and improve the quality of your life. This is especially infuriating when it comes to things like electronics and vehicles and the like. And I'm going to give you a very personal example. This is a second-generation iPod Nano. I obtained one of these in roughly sophomore, junior year of high school. That was around circa 2006. I hate that I just defaulted to saying 2006 was around the time I obtained this. 2006, 2007. Would you like to take a wild guess as to how long this thing lasted? Because before this, I just carried around a Walkman with a case of CDs wherever I went at high school. I was that hipstery motherfucker. This device lasted me until 2018. This thing stuck with me for 12 years. The only reason I stopped using it was because the scroll wheel stopped working. Everything else was working just fine. I could upload music onto it. I could rearrange all the playlists. Everything worked as planned, save the scroll wheel. 12 years this thing lasted me. And once that happened, I had to try and transfer everything to a newer model. One that had been gifted to me prior, maybe, I don't know, a year or so before the scroll wheel eventually gave out. And that was this thing. A 5th generation iPod Nano. You want to know how long this thing lasted? Half a year. This thing lasted half a year before it simply ceased to function. I tried to get it fixed in as many places as I could. I went from electronics shop to electronics shop. I could not find a single person who could tell me that they could repair it, because it was simply obsolete by that point. I then had to upgrade to whatever the fuck else was after it. I don't even count them as iPods at that point, because they're basically just glorified phones without the ability to make a phone call. Those didn't last long, but mainly because those ones were stolen. And by those, I mean, I had one of them, it got stolen, I somehow managed to get a replacement, it got stolen as well. And you want to know why it got stolen? Yes, it was probably just to sell it, but the reason these things have become as valuable as they are is because they are not made to last. These devices fall under the category of planned obsolescence. Chances are the newer a product is when it comes to electronics and vehicles and software, chances are it is going to fall under the model of a consumable product that can just be tossed away as soon as the newest model comes out. I've run into this in a number of areas involving games as well. Even just the same game. Back when I gave a shit about Overwatch because everyone was playing Overwatch and I had grown up enjoying Team Fortress 2. And this seemed like an equivalent sort of game. But something that Overwatch did that Team Fortress 2 never did, it would not let me play the game unless I had downloaded the newest version. And keep in mind, at the time, I was living in a cabin in the middle of the woods with Verizon internet. So you can probably imagine my frustration when downloading the newest version of this game would take the better part of a day if I was lucky. So that certainly ticked me the fuck off. Whereas with TF2, I could just play that game anytime I want, regardless of whether or not it was the newest version. When you make a product's functionality entirely dependent on how new it is, that is not a product. That is just future garbage. It is something to be purchased and then tossed to the wayside before you know what happened. This is something I am extremely passionate about, and that all of you should be extremely passionate about, because it leads into a related subject, and that is abandonware. Now, long story made somewhat less long, abandonware is a video game whose developers and distributors have, as the name suggests, abandoned it. They no longer sell the game, they no longer offer it through any retailers, they simply leave it to rot. This can be frustrating to a number of different people for a number of different reasons. When the biggest being, if there's no one to support the servers for a game, if said game relies entirely on a central server to run, then the game becomes unplayable. It ceases to exist for all intents and purposes. And this brings into question whether or not we actually own anything when it comes to video games that rely specifically on a central server. This is something that has become a source of frustration not only for gamers, but for politicians as well. Because this kind of brings into question the legality of selling something that can't be guaranteed to last. This brings me to a very, very important initiative that I think many of us have probably heard about by now, especially in light of certain streamers who will remain nameless unnecessarily shitting on it and in fact damaging the reputation of it, simply because they are a nepo baby of the AAA industry. I'm referring to the Stop Killing Games initiative. This is a movement that is essentially asking citizens of the European Union to raise awareness to lawmakers about just how full of shit the practice of selling and then killing games is. Right now, the initiative is calling specifically for members of the EU to sign and show their support. This is an impressive feat in and of itself that has faced a number of different obstacles, either through a lack of interest by a number of people or people who have actively made it their business for whatever reason, money, to try and kill the initiative before it makes any significant progress. And the damnedest thing of all, you want to know who is behind this initiative? This motherfucker. This is Ross Scott, who some of you may remember as the creator of the Half-Life Machinima series, Freeman's Mind. Also the creator of the web series Dead Games News. This is a man who is so passionate about the death of games, the unnecessary death of games, mind you, that he has started this movement to try and help more people gain more access to the games they purchased, played, and love. Now, once again, I need to stress that this does predominantly apply to people within the EU to sign the petition. But if any of you who are watching me happen to be in the EU, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to go to stopkillinggames.com, sign the petition, and show your support for this movement, because this is incredibly important, not only for people who just want to keep their games, but also for the sake of historical preservation. And I know that sounds cheesy as fuck, but these are stories. This is media being lost to time, unnecessarily so. Now, there are, yes, a lot of countermeasures for victims of abandonware. You have a lot of hackers and programmers who are just working endlessly to try and preserve as much coding as possible, to preserve assets and even full games, but that isn't always possible, given the limitations of individual programmers working their asses off to break down the assets of a code, or a game, rather. And as I mentioned before, because a lot of these games rely on central servers to run, and a lot of individual consumers may not have the resources in order to preserve all of that information, there's only so much that can be done for some games. So, once again, I highly, highly, highly encourage any of you who can to support this cause. There is also a Discord that you can join if you want to learn more about this initiative. Link is right there. And in fact, just to make sure, stopkillinggames.com. There it is for any of you who want to check it out. And thank you so very much, Koshe, for pinning that. I've been following Ross Scott for years. Initially, it was simply because of the haha funny video aspect of enjoying his content, but also just seeing him be this passionate about preserving digital media, even in the face of such adversity, both from, lawmakers, as well as, unfortunately, in some cases, and you probably know which ones I'm referring to, other content creators who are so hell-bent on securing their place within the AAA industry that they will vehemently go out of their way to shit on a movement. It's disgusting. It is, in fact, utterly disgusting, especially considering I used to have a great deal of respect for that specific content creator until he outed himself as a shitbag. Once again, I will not name names, but if you know, you know. But yes, this just spills over in a long-lasting, deep-seated hatred that I personally have for planned obsolescence. It is infuriating to think that something that I purchase, even just as a leisurely source of enjoyment, or even something as major as a necessity for living, can just give out at any given moment. Because someone somewhere decided these things are not made to last. Thank God I have no idea which silent era film star you're talking about, Graham. No, yeah, absolutely. But like I said, thankfully, there are measures being taken, excuse me, to preserve a good number of games. And that brings me to essentially the initial plan for today's stream. Everything else just kind of came together the closer to stream I got. But this was a proposal brought up by one of my mods, who pointed out, hey, you want to have a rotating roster of subjects and things to tackle for Wednesdays, right? Why not have a collection of indie games and abandonware games to play on Wednesdays? And I said, yeah, no, that's a good idea. And so they sent me a collection of games they'd assembled, and then I realized, hang on a minute. One of these in particular looks very fucking familiar. I wasn't entirely certain at the time, but I took a closer look, and sure enough, what I found was in fact a blast from the past. Nanosaur. This is a game that I have a very distinctive memory of playing on my old iBook back in the very, very, very early aughts. This mod sounds like a fucking loser. I know, right? Nerd. Nothing better to do with their time. But, I was genuinely surprised to find that this still existed, among other games from that source that just brought back a wave of unexpected nostalgia. I was so surprised by this that I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna play Nanosaur for stream. And thankfully this aligned perfectly with my deep-seated hatred of planned obsolescence. So yeah, we're just going to be spending the rest of stream playing this, and
this group is full of weirdos.
Hello, Horizon Blue Games. Thank you very much for joining in. We are just about to start with the, I suppose, the meat and potatoes of this stream. We just got through with a lecture/rant on programmed/designed/planned obsolescence, both within and outside the video game industry, and we're planning on playing an abandonware game that I used to play when I was younger. Also, thank you so very much, Woonju, for the follow. Much appreciated. So yeah, without further ado, let's dip into some Nanosaur. My fucking god. There was a sequel to this. There was, and I made sure to download that as well, Koshe. Bodacious! This is gaming right here. It really is.
That's trauma, dear.
I didn't mean to do that. But yes, I'm sure this, is probably hitting people in a certain way. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Let me go ahead and configure the controls here. It's raining eggs, hallelujah, yeah. See, when I was testing this earlier, I could have sworn I was able to get it to work with my controller. I was able to, in fact. Let me just... Oh, well, perfect time for the music to end, I suppose. Let me just try this again. Ah, my fucking word. But yeah, no, this is going to be an interesting experience. So, For any of you who have never seen or touched this game before, the basic premise is you are a velociraptor from the future who was sent back in time from just before the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs touched down, and your job is to obtain and teleport a bunch of dinosaur eggs from the past into the future so that you can save the dinosaurs. Oh, damn it. Come on. I might need to just close Steam and then open it up again. This seems to be the plot of a Futurama episode. You are not even wrong, little slow geek. But yeah, let me just close down Steam briefly, then open it back up. Because once again, it is not a VTuber stream without scuff. Alright, let me see here. Creationist orangutan. Alright, now. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Or I guess fossil fuels, as it were. Ah, my word. Real life is slowly turning into a Futurama episode. You are not even wrong. Okay, so, if I remember correctly, yeah, no, there's a time limit to this. So that's jump. That's blast. Oh my god. This is going to be especially interesting. Oh my god! This is going to be especially interesting for me as an audio engineer. Just to recognize how many of these stock sound effects I'm going to recognize. God. This soundtrack already sounds like something out of like OG Toonami DBZ. Job here is to collect as many eggs as I can. I need to focus on finding them first. Oh god. Oh yeah. It's a veritable minefield over here. Oh shit, hi. Don't think I can hurt the stegosaurs. Controls. I love Spin Dash Jack over here. Oh, Nelly. There we are. Good news is there seems to be a fuck ton of ammo around. Not so much in the way of eggs, however. Oh my word. Sir. Thank God. And the funny thing is, like, one could make the argument based on this game that not necessarily everything needs to be preserved. But I would argue that even if this isn't the most stellar of games, it is still worth preserving on the grounds that we learned something from this. People played this and learned, hey, if I make a game, maybe I'll take aspects of this that I like and aspects of this I don't like and make something that I can enjoy. Oh, shit. Hello, my friend. I can't get over the jump sound effect. Ah, my word. Yeah, no, I have very, very potent memories of playing this game. Like, I think this was one of those games that just came pre-installed on my iBook. Good golly, Miss Molly. I do love the fact, by the way, that these stegosaurs just don't give a shit. Oh, wait, is that vest? Is that... Oh, if I can get through here, please. Oh, wait, I remember now. There we are. Now. Oh, God, it's one at a time, that's right. God. But yeah, no, itch.io is the place where Koshé found this particular one. But I noticed that this game appears on a number of other sites as well. There we are. There's one egg. Only about 10 fucking minutes into the game with like, just 11 left. You know, the process of porting is a fascinating one. And I found, through my own experiences learning about very specific games, like especially specific IPs, that a port can make or break like how well a game is received. Oh, what? Oh, I got stomped on. No, lives. Lesson learned: do not piss off the Stegosaurus. I wasn't even paying attention to my health, if I'll be honest. I need to refine my run. But yeah, it is, like, as an example of how a port can make or break something, just look at the fucking Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. And I say this, just, you know, to clarify, I am not an avid Sonic the Hedgehog fan. In fact, I wouldn't even go so far as to call myself a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I'm someone who got into Sonic the Hedgehog a little later in life. Like, my initial experience with Sonic, the very first one, was playing the Sonic and Knuckles collection, like on my dad's old work laptop back in the day. And then I thought, okay, this is neat. And then I tried 3D Sonic for the first time, and it was the GameCube ports of Sonic Adventures 1 and 2, the PS2 version of Shadow the Hedgehog, and the Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. And I remember telling this to some of my friends who very much enjoy Sonic, and they're like, oh, no wonder you fucking hate it. Yeah, no, I absolutely need some ammo. The audio mixing is a mess. It is something. Oh, I don't think I saw this. Oh, wow. This is going to be fun. Oh, oh. There I go. How convenient that it teleports me right into the fucking lava. Yeah, I think this is the furthest I've ever gotten in this game. I'm gonna be real with you. Now, once again, I am relatively certain. Oh, God. I pissed off the entire fucking population of pterosaurs, apparently. Oh, my God. Okay, that's a nice little fun jump scare. In their defense. I do wish that, like... that the dinosaurs here were as afraid of the lava as I am. But once again, I am relatively certain this was just a pre-installed game that came on, I'm not sure if every iBook, but it was certainly on my iBook when I got it. Okay, so those guys can die. That is good to know. Love the idea that the entire ecosystem here recognizes, yeah, you do not belong here. Oh my god, the tank controls. But no, the pterosaurs as well as the triceratops seem to have it out for me. What are you? Oh, interesting. I imagine this only lasts so long. Oh my god. Yeah, no, that only lasted about as long as could be expected. Nature itself is out to get me. The space-time continuum said no. Oh god, that's right. We get this lovely little cutscene here showing the ramifications of our failure. Oh god. Well. Oh god, the fucking time loop. Yep, and then right from the beginning. Let's see, where's some of the options there? Yeah, easy difficulty. Extreme? No, I think I'm good. Full screen. Sync. Ratio. 3D will never get better than this. I agree. What on earth is this? Hello, AV. We are playing some Abandonware games today. Because I decided I wanted to do a stream dedicated to my avid hatred of planned obsolescence. Also, if you look at the pinned message at the top, that is the initiative known as StopKillingGames.com, an initiative specifically pertaining to people within the EU who can sign the petition to help lawmakers put a stop to the selling of games that rely on a central server only to have those games killed, essentially. Aliasing, okay. Now, I'm curious as to what the fuck this is. Oh, it's more credits. I think this is the top scores. Yeah. Game audio is just loud enough to make processing problems. Alright, well, that is in fact good to know. Let me make that adjustment real quick. Alright, how is that sounding now in comparison? Any better? Well, I'm also, like, having the game, you know, make audio. Yes, it's better. Okay, that's why I was waiting for lore. That's why I was having the game do the talking. Alright. Alright, so back to this. Oh, my word. Alright, so now let's try playing this game in earnest. Told him early and ignored because admittedly I did not see that game or that comment, Gaucher. I've mainly been focusing on trying to play the game, which is admittedly one of the reasons why I feel it's invaluable to have mods, because I'm not one of those people who can videos game and read comments very well at the same time. My focus has to be almost entirely on the game or the chat. It cannot be both. Turn the game down a smidge more. Oh! I will in just a second. Oh my god. Oh, that is lovely. Down a hair more. Alright, well, let me just go ahead and take care of that real quick. Alright. I'm trying to remember where exactly that nest is. Oh, well. Oh, my God. Hi, buddy. Hey, bada, hey, bada, swing, bada. Oh, God. Come on. Now. Stuff. There we fucking go. Alright. Well, you is very, I would say pixel perfect, but it's more polygonal perfect. There we are. Now, I need that health. Not much, but it'll do.
You're so valid, King, except for not listening to your partner and also not audio balancing before.
Listen. Listen, I have been doing my damnedest to try and focus on as many relevant things in the moment as I can. It is... There are competing stimuli, and I unfortunately am not one of those ADHD babies who can just focus on multiple things at once. I thank you for the bits, but at the same time... Not even bit, singular bit. Oh, my word.
You know what, I feel better about lunging into streaming completely half-assed.
It's streaming half-assed, as opposed to the person who's streaming never. They who are without sin cast the first stone, Lorelei. That's all I'm saying.
Because if you can do this and still have viewers, I could shit on camera.
Yeah, all I'm hearing is excuses. You see, at this point, it's less a matter of Lorelei trying to support me, and more her trying to sabotage me through a minefield of comments and bits. Then again, what else would I expect from this woman at this point?
I literally am saying you've made me feel.
Yeah, see,
better
I'm just gonna
streaming.
stop paying attention to your comments at this point, Laura. At least until I can make some meaningful progress. See, you made me feel better about streaming. Oh, fair enough, but at the same time, I can tell there's some passive aggression at play as well. Wait, did that not take? I sent another egg there. There we go. Well, I guess that egg didn't count for some reason. But maybe it wants more than one type of egg. I don't know. Yup, you know? I suppose I feel good about having a fucking AoE attack. There we go. VTubing is 90% scuff and 9% being bullied and 1% streaming successfully with no issues. Given the streamers I follow, I feel like no issues is less than 1%. Keep you around in case I need you. Oh god, well, here we go with this shit again. You. There we go. One less thing to worry about. Oh god, really? Alright, well that would have been helpful to know. Ah, fuck nuggets. Scuff my shoes then. Ah, word. The entire avian population is on my ass. See, confirming, even as far back as prehistoric times, birds and bird-like organisms are not to be trusted. For anyone in the chat who's about to protest, yes, I am aware that pteranodons are neither birds nor dinosaurs. Will this blow me up? Fucking word. Okay. So now... Where the fuck? Because all the blocks are sunken now. Oh, well, you see they lift up. Alright, well. Ow, damn it.
Damn, this is taking your war with pigeons to a whole new level, ending them before they begin.
Well, so much for that plan. Well, you do what you gotta do. Oh my god. Sir! Well, this is probably the end for me. Yeah, there we go. Forgot what this was for a second. Tab back and thought, what the hell is wrong with that horse? You know what? In honor of that comment. See, I'm just kind of perplexed as to how I did worse this time than I did the previous time. So I think I'll go one more run with this game, and then I might try Nanosaur 2, which supposedly came out a few years later. Okay, what was the audio?
I stole your power by reducing the audio.
Okay, see, now I'm just confused. What's wrong with the audio? Like, is the game audio, like, breaking stuff? Is my audio, like, my mic not coming through? You're just confusing me now more than ever, Lore. You know, fair enough, I suppose. Also, this is the most late 90s, early aughts UI I have ever fucking seen. And I'm kind of living for it. I can try this route. Okay, Jesus. Well, I should have taken this route from the beginning. Apparently, this is the fucking boss fountain. And, see, this is another perfect example of why it is always important to preserve these types of games. Because even if they aren't necessarily the highest quality, there's still something that could be learned from them, even just through repeat playthroughs and exploration and just fucking around and finding out. See, I never saw this mushroom section before. I have an extra egg. An egg I did not realize was here. His AirPods in, you can't hear the sarcasm. Again, I can only process so much at any given time. Jesus. Sir. No means no. I don't care if you are a self-proclaimed sexual Tyrannosaurus. Consent is still very much key.
What'd you call me?
Did I stutter, Lorelei? Because the other interesting point about this is that because of the way this game is designed with the enemies constantly coming after you, I cannot tell if the enemies are in fact respawning or if they're just like crawling in from every corner of the map.
I love how the aromantic turns out to have exceptions and the asexual is more horny on main.
Yeah, I mean, color me fucking thunderstruck. Like, I remember, like, within the first month I met you, Lorelei, with all the jokes you were cracking, I was like, this is the most sexual asexual I have ever met. Granted, at the time I'd not met many asexuals, but all the same, stand by my statement. Fucking word. I love that sound effect. It is so distinctly 90s. I think I'm gonna leave that area where it lies for now. Ah, my word. Yet again, I'm relatively certain I may have found another part of the map that I've not explored before. There's a lot here. Like, there's a lot of effort that was, like, put into what many probably would have just put down after the first few tries. Oh, no, wait, this is me looping around a little bit. But even so, the point still stands. This is clearly something that someone made while having a lot of fun. Like, again, I believe this game was released in 98, 99. Temporal compass. Oh, shit. I love how these are also your only settings. Like, while you're in-game. And once again, like, playing video games at home was still an experimental thing. There were, of course, a lot of ports at the time, but this was around the age of the, because now I'm trying to remember when the GameCube came out. It would have been a little after this, I would imagine, because like this was probably still when the N64 was in its heyday. Yeah, I'm gonna hazard a guess that the enemies are in fact respawning. Like, there's enough, you know, distance through the fog. I mean, looks like I've got no choice. And I do appreciate the fact that it is absolutely one of those games where the harder you hold down on the jump button, the higher you jump. Which you would think goes without saying with a lot of games, but this was still an experimental era for home gaming. Oh god, this is the fucking Triceratops era. Or area. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Drop your rock. This is one of ththose games that I think I remember, even if I was no fucking good at it, I played this again and again and again, because I was very much, surprising no one, I'm sure, one of those kids who was endlessly fascinated with dinosaurs. Yeah, imagine that, the kid who grew up watching Godzilla movies had a thing for dinosaurs. Sir. Fucking tank controls. just scares them off. Fucking annoying sound effects.
Born them good, Daddy.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I might be SOL and JWF here. Yeah, there I go. Yeah, and the egg along with it. Okay. Fuck. Yeah, no, these fucking Pteranodons are gonna be the end of me. Well, I mean, at least it looks like I got 2 eggs. Oh, shit. Well, another chance. Come on. There. Alright, this should be less of an issue. There we are. I'm officially out of ammo. However... Oh, shit! There we are. But yeah, I think it comes down to the types of eggs. I've collected 2 types of eggs. I think that's more than I've done prior in any case. Now, fortunately, this leaves me in a position where I am not entirely certain, but I am somewhat certain that unlike the enemies, ammo does not respawn. So this is going to have to be one big game of grab ass avoiding these guys as I maneuver my way through the level. And the hilarious thing about this is that, like, we could point and laugh at this looking fairly primitive, but keep in mind, some of the best CGI series and short films were also roughly of this quality at the time. I swear I did not mean for that pun, Lorelei. I fucking swear to you.
Primitive. Really?
Shut up. Jesus fucking Christ. Pincer attack. buddy. Don't mind me. Ah, fuck. Great, and because I died with the egg in my mouth, it doesn't count. Oh, wait, no, shit. Oh, okay, fuck it, we ball. Shit. Okay. Alright, so that's 4 eggs. That's, more than I've done prior. Now the question is, am I gonna be able to beat this game simply by surviving until the clock runs out? Like, I really do wish, like, my one complaint about this game is I wish that the enemies were as subject to the environmental hazards as I am. Like, the fact that the T-Rex can just fucking bum rush it through the lava to try and take a bite is somewhat of a point of frustration, but I digress. This is still an amusing game. It's just a matter of figuring out the odds and ends of the controls. It's about 30 seconds until impact. Yep. Say goodbye, numbnuts. Ah, well. Gonna lurk while working live 2D. You are completely valid, AV. Thank you for tuning in regardless. Alright. My name's Yev. Alright, not bad. All things considered. Okay. So, all in all, not a bad game. Not the best game, but still enjoyable. This game I have distinct memories of. The next game, not so much. Let me even just make a few adjustments here. There we are. So that was Nanosaur. I remember Nanosaur. It came pre-installed on my iBook, like I said. This next game, I have virtually zero memory of. So let me...
In the year 4122, a soul Nanosaur was sent 65 million years into the past. His mission was to find the unhatched eggs of ancient dinosaur species and return them to the future.
My God.
The mission was a success.
Sure. Sure was, buddy.
But before the eggs could be hatched, they were stolen by a group of rebel Nanosaurs. The rebels took the eggs to off-world bases where they planned on breeding the dinosaurs. Their goal was to create warriors for fighting their battle against Earth. But the rebels left one egg behind, and when it hatched, a new Nanosaur was born. This hatchling was sent on a mission to recover the stolen eggs and defeat the rebel forces.
Riveting stuff. Ah, my word. Yeah, let me even just see. Guess this might look a little better on on this screen here. Obviously, it's going to have a different... Oh, jeez. We're getting into some interesting aesthetic territory here. Ah. There we are. Just a nip here, a tuck there. Don't worry about it, folks. Settings, controls, graphics, anti-aliasing. Kitty mode. Yeah, let's go kitty mode. This is bringing back some major nostalgia. I can feel my inner child screaming at me. Adventure, Nano versus Nano. Yeah, no, let's go adventure. Dun 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 dun. Oh boy. Well, first things first. It does in fact appear like I'm going to have to unsquimsh a few things. Because you unfortunately cannot see the entire UI. My word. Okay, well. Might have to move things to this screen after all. I just... Is that, Yeah, alright. I guess that will do. That will suffice for now. Alright, oh god. The little raptor claw. Alright. Oh dear. Oh, that's the booster. Do I have a weapon? Okay.
It seems you're enraptured.
You know? Alright. Okay, so that's the fucking time portal, I'm guessing. That's where I have to bring the eggs. You know, it would be really handy if I had a weapon right now. Let's see. Let me even... Yeah, controls, please. Alright, so... Here. Fire. Jetpack. So I do have a weapon, just haven't obtained it yet. You know, how befitting that upon death I turn into a fucking tree star. Also, the fucking raptor joke only just now registered. I mean, in lieu of anything else, I suppose that just did get the job done. Oh, that's switching between weapons. Can I not just fire the weapon? That's the weapon. Okay. So it wasn't firing before I just started forest fire. You know? Alright, so there's probably gonna have to be a different grab for that. Need to swing back around. Oh, well, I grabbed it momentarily.
Flame it up, Daddy.
Would you? Maybe not. Now, do I have to hold the button down or just... Fuck. Alright, come on. Ah, damn it. Ah, fuck. Wait, did that do it? Oh, it made a sound. I'm choosing to believe that this is an indication that something happened. Where the fuck is this? That things are in fact happening. What precisely that may be is yet to be determined. Gonna take another swing around here. Such a weird sound effect to choose for your ammo obtained sound. Okay, there. It just does it automatically once you approach. How about you, buddy? Mission failed. We'll get him next time, boys. Alright, you know what? The black bars on the sides are bothering me way too fucking much. I need to do a little more plastic surgery here. Prettiest picture, but it'll do in a pinch. So now I have somewhat more of an idea of what it is I'm doing. Hopefully make a bit more progress. Are you pinching dinosaurs? Why aren't you, Lore? You're Sometimes you need to assert your authority. It also depends on whether or not they're wearing green on a certain Irish holiday. You know, that one holiday where that one guy banished all the dinosaurs from Ireland. You know the one. St. Pachysaurus. Pachycephalosaurus. You're a fish squeezer? Well, you know what? Gabe does deserve it. Part-time fish, part-time monkey. He should just make up his damn mind. I forgot that I exploded tree stars. That's just kind of fucking hilarious. There we go. You know? Mighty Lord of the Sky. Can't take a hit from a single tree branch. Never know what this man is talking about. The story of my fucking life, Gaucher. Oh wait, I don't think I need to press a button, actually. Unless I'm mistaken, but... Okay, well, that did something. Now, maybe... Did I do something else? Let's explore more of the map. See if I just pick this up. Okay, yeah. Don't need to press any buttons for it. Not bad. Okay, so now that I know what the fuck is actually going on in terms of how anything works, to an extent at least. My way around here. Fucking aerial mines here. So the thing now is that I'm just trying to piece together what even the premise of this is. Are we on another planet? Are we back in time? Are we both? Oh, now we're dead. Oh. Oh. Hey, do I even need to shoot these things? They haven't shot me yet. Yeah, no, they're just there. Just kind of there. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't think anything in this game has attacked me yet. Which, while a noted improvement from the last time, makes me feel like this game may or may not have been finished. That may change momentarily. Hey boys. How's the weather down there? Yeah, these guns could not give less of a fuck. just setting shit on fire at this point. For the sake of setting shit on fire. And this is where the level loops. Apparently. Huh? Wait, maybe this is a different place. Oh. Oh, there's another egg. Watch me eat shit instantly. Now, they do not shoot me even if I'm carrying an egg. Okay, yeah, no, we're absolutely on another planet. Alright, duly noted. Yeah, don't worry, I'll just need some remedial math classes, I'll be fine. Yeah, no, these turrets could not give less of a shit about me or what I am doing here. So I'm going to assume that the goal of each level, because I'm going to assume there's more than one level, is to collect as many eggs as possible and get them through that fucking portal. Wait a second. Okay, no, yeah. I thought an egg respawned, but no, I'm pretty sure...
Is that why I need remedial math lessons? You bonked my egg against a tree?
Listen. I've been all over time and space, Laurel. I can't keep track of every person whose life I've inconvenienced. Oh, there we go. Oh, but by all means, educate me, Koshe. What's my issue here? Your phone, you lazy fuck. You know what? Hadn't thought about that.
Skill issue.
Apparently so. Guess I need to keep a tally of lives I've ruined by traveling through the multiverse against my will. Okay. Oh, Nelly. Fuck. I may need to come back around for a bigger swing, as it were. I mean, I will say it's like, as comparatively well-refined as this game is compared to the last one, there's a bit of charm lost. Because in the previous game, everything was constantly on your ass trying to kill you. And you had a set time limit. And you had that rockin', like, 90s faux metal playing in the background. Whereas here, like, you've got no time limit. Nothing is trying to kill you. And you've got, well, decent enough music. It's just kind of generic orchestral action music. Like, what's the point of fighting these guys, for example? Like, they're not even attacking me. This feels like a tech demo. Granted, the other one felt like a tech demo as well, but this one even more so. But then again, that is sort of... I only just now noticed the egg counter up in the upper right-hand corner. We've got all of that type of egg. All early games equals tech demo. You know what? You do raise a valid point there, Lore. People were still coming out of the N64 days. They're still learning how to refine 3D. I think this is the first area, if I'm not mistaken. So this is totally unrelated to abandonware and planned obsolescence, but this makes me think of the sort of semi-tragic story of Dinosaur Planet. For the uninitiated, Dinosaur Planet was a platforming game that was planned, I think, for the N64 many years back. Well, obviously, if it was planned for the N64, it would be many years back. And I forget specifically who it was in Nintendo it was shown to, but I believe the general consensus was, like, they were worried it wouldn't really have enough marquee value without popular Nintendo characters in it. I obviously do not recall all of the important details, but suffice it to say, that game, where you play between two anthropomorphic animal characters on a planet inhabited by sapient dinosaurs, that game would go on to become Star Fox Adventures, which has since become infamous among fans of Star Fox as, I guess, depending on who you ask, not a real Star Fox game. Like, it featured Star Fox characters, and, you know, themes and whatnot, but you spent, I don't know, maybe all of, like, 10% of that game in your R-Wing flying around, and that's just for the final boss and in between certain levels. This is making me think of some of the test footage for Dinosaur Planet. But yeah, no, Star Fox Adventures would, I think that's an extra life. You know? I should have seen that coming. But yes, Star Fox Adventures came out for the GameCube, and I think the earlier years of that console's life cycle. And again, these funny little guys, they're not hurting anybody either. They're just going about their day. And I'm here lighting their forest on fire and blowing up their turrets. Who's the real monster here? The CIA. Are there any additional eggs around here is the question. I love how the animation for these raptor-like guys are just very, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. In fact, one moment. Because I know it's not. But these funny little guys, their aesthetic, they're bringing to mind a very specific character for me. For any of you who played the arcade game Primal Rage... Oh, wrong scene. All this, don't worry about it. This is just my personal stash. There we go. Yeah, for anyone who played Primal Rage growing up, this funny little guy might seem a little familiar. Anyway, just thought I'd get that out of my system. The Tism beckons. It is interesting. Because again, like, I don't want to say this game is bad, because it's not. Like, visually it is, you know, more advanced. Like, the controls are a bit more convenient once you actually understand them. You know, like, you can worry less about being attacked at any given moment. But it also just feels kind of limp, if you know what I'm saying. Like, the teeth are gone. This game has been defanged compared to its predecessor. Maybe that's just the nostalgia talking. It is entirely possible. However, I feel like I would probably be a lot more invested in this game if the enemies were actually behaving like enemies. I don't know, perhaps I was expecting too much. I mean, be that as it may, like, regardless of how well this game holds up after 20-so-odd years after the fact, it is still important that we have access to this game. It's important that we have access to games from this era, because these are a part of our history. This is a part of gaming history, development history. Like, this is something that we can learn from.
Very incisive commentary. Thank you for your thoughts. Perhaps you could try a new addenture?
Addenture? I feel like there is a reference here that I am missing. Insides of it. Oh, okay. Ah, my word. Like, these guys are just here. Just yucking it up. You know, I also realize that while I've been bitching and moaning about this game this entire time, I've had it on kitty mode. So let's see what happens when I actually have it on normal mode. Let me just make sure that it is set to normal. Yes, it is. Alright. So maybe now the video game will behave like a video game. See, this is the portion in editing where I just overlay a jackass graphic over my face here. Now watch them actually come after me. Oh, there's an egg. How did my dumbass miss that? And now are you going to shoot at me? Oh, yep, it's shooting at me. There we go. We're playing a video game. Hallelujah, holy shit. Okay, so there's the last two eggs. Alright. The teeth have been acquired. Granddad's dentures obtained. So my fucking dumbass calling this a tech demo when I wasn't even playing it as a normal game. Alright. Now. Enter wormhole. Alright. There we are. Well, we got through level 1. Save game. Alright, so now let's try playing it like a video game. I did not mean to hit you over there. Well, you know. Sacrifices had to be made. Alright, so yeah, no, this is feeling very more videos gamey. Alright.
You monster. How could you?
I mean, listen. We're just maintaining the canon of Land Before Time, alright? Sacrifices had to be made for that plot to progress. Littlefoot's mom needed to go, just like Bambi's. It's just nature. That's an interesting way to portray a volcano. Okay, so now that I can actually see the features of the
You killed Bambi's mom, too?
Nope, I'm pretty sure my dad did. Long story. He had to be there. But yeah, so the purple is our shield. Have to be more wary of those mines now. None of us are that old. Okay, so to explain the reference, years and years ago, my father ran over a deer, and he decided, you know what? Rather than just letting the meat go to waste, I will actually take it home with me and cut it up to make meat from it. And that ended up landing him in a bit of trouble with local law enforcement, as it turned out. Okay. Well, you know what? Mission failed. Oh, I guess I was out of lives, wasn't I? You know what? Let's play from our last save point. Oh, no, it starts you fucking over. Okay, sure. Are we on normal now? Yes, we are on normal. Yeah, so let's start over on normal mode. I guess that save state didn't really mean much of anything. She took it out of the car. I mean, listen, I don't know the series of events of how he obtained the deer meat. Whether he loaded it in the back of the truck or scraped it off the grill. I'm just saying, a corpse was found by law enforcement. Which is hilarious because my father would then go on to become a land use attorney. Oh, hello. Oh, interesting. So they make their way out here on normal mode. I mean, that does make sense, all things considered. Alright, yeah, this is feeling more like a video game. Alright. Not quite oriented well enough.
Good job, buddy. You've unlocked Play Game.
Game gets. Okay, yeah. No, this... Oh, yeah, now that I'm actually playing the game as intended, to an extent, this definitely feels a lot more polished. So yeah, credit where credit is due. And once again, this is why it is important to preserve these games, so that idiots like me can actually spend long enough with them to figure out the ins and outs therein. Alright, so now I'm getting a feel for how the actual intended series of events are supposed to go. Let's see if I can get my hands on you, mama. Come around for another swing there. It's such an interesting choice, having the ammo acquisition sound being a freshly fired arrow. Playing the game as intended, Mrs. Egg. Listen. I got the message well enough in the end.
Chill.
Okay. Fair enough, Koshai. Alright, so now we're entering the next area. Okay, yeah, I am seeing. Alright. Oh, Jesus. Go, white boy, go.
What the heck is even that?
Alright. Damn. That's a fucking sound effect that makes you feel bad. we are. Okay. But yeah, like it is very interesting to see the progress, like even just the conceptual progress of games like this, where you go from like a very grounded raptor trying to maneuver his way around with tank controls in an environment where enemies keep respawning, to a game like this where, like, you at least have a better chance of... Damn. Well, there I go. Try and get a shield over here. But yeah, to a Pteranodon, who can at least stand a better chance of dodging enemies, but is still at risk. And do the enemies respawn? Hard to tell, honestly. Oh, health, good. But yeah, even just like with the aerial mines here, making sure you have to thread the needle properly. Always makes me feel bad. He immediately shoots another lizard. Listen, Greedo here shot first, all right? Can't be held responsible for his actions. Well, one life to live. My favorite dinosaur-based soap opera. Tonight on One Life to Live, how will Littlefoot react when he finds out that Sarah was lying about her pregnancy test? Evolution to love. Fuck you, Koshé. That's much better. Oh my god. I'm angry I didn't think of that. Well fucking played. Ah, my word. Is it befitting? Alright, here. Ah, my word. Oh, and I'm out of ammo. Yeah, no, I needed a bigger swing for that. Alright. There's one. I just love their gremlin trot. Okay, yeah, no. Alright. Ah, my word. Meanwhile, Griffin flies around shooting lizards and catching eggs. I mean, listen. Like, after spending so much time as of late introducing Crochet to Lynchian writing, this is far from the weirdest fucking presentation they've been subjected to. Because he's robbing parents of their children. Listen, I have a job to do, damn it. Cannot afford to be distracted by every exchange from the peanut gallery. Brother, I've watched weirder. You and I have both lived weirder.
I'm allergic to peanuts, you monster.
Well, you know what? That sounds like a skill issue. A genetic skill issue, but a skill issue all the same. Ah, shit. Could I potentially go back for that extra life? Yes. That's where that exchange is going to end. You know what? Fuck it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm gonna have to swing back around for that. Ah, my word. All right. You know, I made the mistake of looking at my chat to see what the fuck is going on. This is the life I chose for myself. Oh, you know? My intention to off Littlefoot Jr., but I guess Littlefoot Sr. even. You know what? You can't always get what you want. Well, what if you try sometimes? Oh, fuck. It's a good thing I went after that extra life. said, instantly wasting that extra life. Shut up! I can hear you from the next room. Oh, fucking... I had to change weapons, not drop the fucking egg. Where the fuck did you go? Fuck it. It'll respawn back at the nest. Alright, so... Coming for a wider swing there. Watch out for those trees there, George. How fucking dare you? Brendan Fraser deserved better. The audacity to assume that tree wouldn't murder you. You know, I should have thought about that. Those Arbor Day proponents are getting a lot more aggressive.
Damn, Birch, you got something for Douglas, or just barking mad?
Okay. Listen, I'm the one who dad jokes around here, alright? I'm the migraine man. I'm the one who puns. There's the fucking jetpack button. I haven't used the jetpack in so fucking long, I forgot how to fucking use it. Now watch it instantly fucking kill me. Oh, yeah, there we go. Alright, well, so that was Nanosaur 2. Fucking Christ on a stick. Ah, man. So, what did we learn, class? I'm waiting. You can't steer? Besides the obvious, Cochet. You can't shoot? Alright. You know, I'm not sure why I expected anything more. What we learned is that you can't judge a book by its cover. We learned how invaluable old media is as a learning tool. And we learned that you too can make a difference. Once again, for those of you who are paying attention to the pinned comment on the Twitch version of this stream, if any of you are so inclined and live in the EU, you can contribute to the Stop Killing Games initiative to help the prevention of the loss of crucial pieces of video game history. And just spread awareness of the fact that planned obsolescence is in fact horseshit. It's something that we should all be rallying against. And I think the more of us who do, the more big corporations are going to catch on that they aren't going to be able to get the fuck away with it forever. At least one can only hope. In any event, I appreciate all of you patiently sitting through all of my usual Wednesday rantings. I'll be dipping back into the pool of indie games gathered by Cochet these coming Wednesdays, because I am very curious to see all of just what it is they have to offer, both in terms of abandonware and the indie scene in general. Always remember to promote the indie scene. Always remember to support the indie scene when it comes to video games. I have been the Logician. I am very much looking forward to the next time I see you. And until the next time, always remember to fucking think.